Do you realize a free Medicare home visit could potentially be used against you at some point in the future to deny you of essential medical attention, medical procedures, or possibly even necessary medical equipment or supplies? Well, unfortunately, this is happening to millions of people every single year, and I want to explain it for you here in this video because the innocent Medicare home visit, you probably receive phone calls about it all the time where a nurse just wants to come on out to your house, spend some time with you, ask you some questions, and just see how things are going, could actually be used against you, and this is a nasty situation. Now, I also do have this article right here. I'm going to pop this up on the screen in just a second so you can see and read for yourself exactly what this is saying. I hope you're sitting down when I put this on the screen and as I discuss the details about this, because unfortunately, what they're doing is they're gathering data about you, putting it into the database that may be used against you at some point in the future to literally deny you the very services and or equipment or supplies that you may need. Sounds disgusting, but it's true, and unfortunately it's happening to way too many people, okay? All right, anyway, let's pop this article up, and again, I hope you're sitting down when you read this and as you hear the details on this. All right, so the very innocent Medicare home visit, right? You've probably received a million phone calls about it. In fact, drop your comments down below. Have you received a phone call, anybody ever contacting you saying, hey, I see that you're on Medicare. We have this free home visit. Would you like a nurse to stop by at some point and spend some time with you and just see how things are going? Have you done this? Drop a comment down below, yes or no. And have you received the phone call, either yes or no, or have you actually gone through with this and have you had this visit? A lot of people do it, and it can be very appealing, right? Someone's going to come to my house and do this? How awesome. This sounds very, very good. Yeah, let's schedule it right away. But here's what they're doing. They're asking a bunch of questions. They're gathering data about you and that may be used against you. Okay, so I'm going to use some general examples here in this video to kind of paint a very clear picture of what I'm talking about. But here's what they're doing. The nurse will come on over to your place and they'll sit down with you and just ask you a series of questions like, how's your mobility? Do you get around just fine? How's your pain? Do you have any pain on a regular basis? Hey, have you fallen at all lately? You know, have you taken a little spill lately? Did you get injured? Like, what happened there, right? They're going to ask you a whole series of questions to understand what is going on with your living situation, okay? Now, again, I would urge you, and just like they say here in this article, be very transparent about it. If at any point you have mobility issues, as in like, yeah, you know, I do get around pretty well, but sometimes I do struggle with different things. Be very clear about that, right? Be very, very clear about this. This is all going to be recorded. Now, also, if you have fallen at any point, tell that information. Be very, very clear, right? And again, falls are a pretty common thing. Again, tell all this information. Be very clear about this. It's very, very important, okay? Here's the situation. Let's just say that a few months goes by and for whatever reason, maybe you're struggling with mobility at that point, or maybe you've sustained a fall or an injury, or you're dealing with some, pretty persistent pain on a regular basis. We want to know all this information, okay? Because here's the situation. Let's just say that you want to get some regular medical attention, or maybe the situation comes in where, you're dealing with some mobility issues and maybe now you need to get a walker where maybe that walker as essential medical equipment or, supplies, maybe something like this, would typically be covered if you told during this regular home visit, you told the nurse, nah, I'm fine. I don't need any help with mobility. I'm good. I get around totally fine. But now a few months later, you're coming in and requesting a walker, and for them to pay for it, they might be like, pretty sure we just had this meeting here and you said you were fine with mobility and now you're requesting this walker for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars and for us to pay for it? Yeah, denied, right? So that's what I'm saying here. And again, I'm just using this as a quick example. There's obviously all kinds of examples that I could be giving here, but unfortunately this is something that's happening and affecting a lot of people. So my point being with this, long story short, and again, as you're probably reading with that article, there's a lot of scenarios, and basically what this is, it's just an innocent visit with a nurse that could turn into a situation where they're just going to use all this evidence against you at some point, okay? That's nasty, okay? Not a very good situation. Now, what also is very interesting, and I'm going to be 100% fair with you, I did not realize this, but this sounds very shady and honestly really unethical in my opinion. But as you saw there in the article, Apparently, with Medicare Advantage plans, and again, I'm going to be fair with you right now, I did not know this until reading this article and doing some further research on this, but apparently with Medicare Advantage plans, they really push these Medicare home visits because they get a higher compensation and reimbursement from Medicare when they do these. I don't know. That sounds super sketchy, super like unauthentic. It just sounds very, really sketchy. I'm not sure how else to say it, right? And I'm going to be fair with you. My parents are on Medicare Advantage plans, and I know for a fact they have been contacted numerous times about setting these appointments up, right? My parents both have individually told me that they've been contacted constantly about setting up these at-home visits. We're going to come out to your place. We're going to spend some time with you. I didn't know until I came across this information. I was like, oh, it's because they're going to get a bigger compensation, a bigger reimbursement from Medicare if they do this. So yeah, it's all financial gain for them. So they're pushing it so hard because they get a bigger paycheck. Huh. That's interesting, but I'm not shocked whatsoever because, I'm just not surprised when it comes down to it. When they keep calling about it like that over and over, it's like, yeah, now it makes sense because they get a bigger check. They get a bigger reimbursement. I don't know. Something about that seems super nasty. So not only are they gathering information about you, they're basically conducting an interview to see like, hey, like what's going on with your mobility, your pain levels, your risk factors, your falls, or anything like that. They're gathering all this data on you that may be used to deny you of necessary services, medical attention, or possibly even equipment or supplies at some point in the future. But then not only that, they're getting paid even more to do this with you. I don't know. It's like a double whammy effect for them, right? It's like a twofold effect for them to basically be like, hey, more money for us. We get to deny you in the future because we gathered all this information. Oh, and by the way, we're going to get paid to do this nice and handsomely as well, right? I don't know. Something about this seems very unethical, but what do I know, right? It just seems very weird. And who knows? Maybe it's not quite as shady as we're making it out to be here in this video and as shady as this article seems, but honestly, I'm not really all that surprised, and it wouldn't shock me one bit whatsoever. Anyway, drop your comments down below. I know that my parents have done this, but obviously I'm going to be sharing this information with them, and it may change their opinion and their willingness to do these types of visits in the future, but I know for a fact my parents have done this as well. So anyway, drop your comment down below. Have you done any of these at-home visits with your plan that has contacted you relentlessly? Come out and just want to spend some time and see how you're doing and ask you some questions and just understand it. We'll come to you. Don't worry. Just hang tight. Just relax. We'll come to you. We'll make it super easy, right? That's why they do it. They make it easy because ultimately it's probably going to save them a boatload of money at some point in the future, right? So they know this. Interesting. Very interesting. I am very curious to read your comments down below on this. If you've fallen through with this, and what your experience has been. By the way, drop your comment down below. What was your experience? If you actually did do this, what was your experience with it? Was it a helpful experience? Did you find that it was actually used against you? Whatever was discussed in that, at that at-home meeting, did you find that at some point in the future when you needed those necessary equipment or supplies or whatever medical attention, was that potentially used against you? I'd love to hear your stories. Anyway, if you want to, by the way, don't share anything personal, by the way, down below. That's not my business. It's nobody's business. I shouldn't know anything personal about you. Just use very general terms when you leave your stories, but I'd be very curious to hear from you. All right, anyway, hope this helps you out. As always, please consider subscribing, 100% free. Big subscribe button down below. Please share the video. Big share button down below as well. Otherwise, check out the well over 6,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. Otherwise, as always, drop your comments, questions, feedback, and your stories, and I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, until next time, have a nice day. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. Have a good one, and I'll catch you again later.